Good morning to you. It is now 17 minutes to 9 and we played Take That about 10 minutes ago. Gary Barlow, I don't know if he's self-isolating or not, but he's taken to social media to produce crooning videos linking up with other big music stars. So the one I saw yesterday or the day before, you lose track at the moment, don't you, with exactly where we're up to. He and Jack Savaretti were singing along, which again I think is a really great idea to keep you entertained if you are self-isolating and looking for something to do or watch. And is David Walliams, did I see?
Yes. He's been doing something, hasn't he?
I think he's doing audiobooks of his stories online.
Oh, nice.
Which is really nice.
Yeah,
and also people like the dancers in Strictly, OT
Movies.
Yeah, she's amazing. She's been doing free online dance classes as well.
It's great, isn't it? So many people mucking in, people who've got a really big reach on social media, really getting out there, which...
Carol Vorderman doing free maths lessons as well for the kids.
What more could you ask for?
Exactly.
What I'd love to do, I'd love to get Carol to do one of the countdown challenges. 6 numbers, here's the total you need to get to. Come on, Carol, let's see how many you can do in an hour. That would be good, wouldn't it? I used to love the old maths on Countdown. Haven't seen it for a long time. Nick Hewer, is he still presenting Countdown? I think he is.
Is it him still? I think it might be.
I think it is, yeah. Right, maybe we could do some on-air countdown. What do you reckon? We could do you a conundrum.
Yeah, I think I'll fail miserably, but I think it's worth a go.
On that note, have either of you ever got the Countdown conundrum?
I'm not great at the conundrum. I can normally do maybe a 7 letters in the main rounds, but
good.
Yeah,
that's
the
really
full
good,
9
Sean.
is a bit of a stretch.
7 is so good. I think I'd be 2.
4.
It's very good indeed. I've never got the sort of coveted 9 letters where you get 18 points for that, of course, on Countdown. We digress. Speaking of people doing things, Casualty Holby City suspended filming at the moment, but they're still sort of trying to do something to help.
They're doing their bit, yeah. So they are donating protective equipment to the NHS. So the props that they use on their obviously medical dramas, they're basically donating it to help battle coronavirus, which is really cool, actually.
It's fantastic.
I'm assuming they're proper like medical
must
props,
be,
so they're not just paper mache.
Something someone's made out of a napkin.
Absolutely. I think they really do go for realism. So obviously there's a certain amount of sort of real equipment there. So this is all being donated, is it?
Yeah. It's lovely, and like you say, it's because both shows have been suspended. Yeah, the executive producer Simon Harper said Casualty and Holby City are all about celebrating NHS heroism. So we are only too happy to help out and do what we can for the courageous and selfless real-life medics battling the situation.
Excellent. Good news. And something about microwaves in the news as well this morning.
Yeah, so of course many people working from home at the moment because of the coronavirus situation. And Ofcom have been issuing tips on how to get the most out of your at-home internet connection. And apparently, if you use a microwave at the same time as you're on your Wi-Fi, that can interfere and can affect your internet speed.
Gosh,
No
I had
way.
no idea about that.
So apparently you should have your router as far away from your microwave as possible.
That actually genuinely is some really good advice, particularly with so many people working from home at the moment.
There's a full list of things that can interfere with your your
what?
wireless. Cordless phones, baby monitors, halogen lamps, dimmer switches, stereos, computer speakers, TVs and monitors.
Dimmer switches is so interesting because our Wi-Fi breaks out so much, and I'm always just like, what is
That
happening?
could be
But
it.
we've got dimmer switches right
There we
next to
go.
it. Yeah.
So the advice saying keep your router as far away from these things
give it
as
its own
possible.
little room out of the way.
You see, we're talking this morning about Perspex screens being put up in supermarkets. We've heard from you about that. Many places on the island doing this, the whole social distancing thing when you have to go and pay. Maybe routers could have their own Perspex screens to save them from all these other devices and actually keep us with good Wi-Fi. That is a great bit of advice. And just want to recap on something that we spoke about on Monday. Clap for Carers. This is tomorrow evening, 8 o'clock, across the water, but this is definitely going to come here as well. For the NHS, it's being asked that everybody stops at 8 p.m. tomorrow night and claps, presumably for about a minute or so,
That would be so
to
lovely.
just applaud those on the front line, those in the health service who are just working incredibly at the moment. Same here as well for our health service. I think we need to do the same, and radio stations joining in with this as well, some of the big stations across. So I think, should we just say now, should we do it here on Manx Radio tomorrow night? Shall we do this?
Definitely.
I thought you meant right now. I was about to start clapping.
Oh, save it. So
Save it for tomorrow.
don't peak
No
too soon.
clapping today.
That's not today. We'll save it for tomorrow. But I think this is, again, as we said, a really great idea. So if you want to join in with this, clapping for the NHS across the water, our health service here, and indeed just for all those health workers, I think, around the world who are all working tirelessly at the moment, make a note of it. And if you can sort of listen out of the window tomorrow. It'd be really interesting to see if you can actually hear this. Right, shall we have another sing-along song now?
Let's.
Definitely.
I know we got Ben's Banger coming up. You're going to enjoy that this morning. But should we do some classic 80s now?
Oh, yes, that is very much needed.